Okay, now it's very simple. You just got to give it a little bit of a shake and she'll come right out. And be careful, just set her down. And then we're going to move to the front. And anytime you pull the drive shaft out, you want to make sure that you're not going to leak everywhere. So you just basically, the easiest thing to do is just take a sandwich bag and a zip tie. Just put the sandwich bag over the end, just like that. And the zip tie, easy peasy, bam. And you're sealed. And when we pull this engine and transmission, I'll have a bunch of junk leaking down the back of this one. It'll still leak a hair, but it'll be nothing like if it was open. This is the difference between passenger car and utility vehicle, farm truck. That's the difference. There's less material here, less material. It wasn't designed to have to take as much of a beating as this was, having to tow, having to haul. So that's why I'm in love with square bodies, because they're built to be a farm implement. So everything on them is heavier duty than a passenger car. So that's why we're going to take this drive shaft to the drive shaft shop. We're going to have him shorten it. He'll probably take a chunk out on either one of the ends, is what he'll do to shorten it to fit in that truck. But you could use that if you cleaned it up. You could use that drive shaft in there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go with heavy duty. That way, if I decide to put horsepower on it, then she'll be ready for it. Okay, so we're at the point where we need to measure the drive shaft. So what's the first thing we need to do? Make sure that all the tire pressures are up where it is and it's on the ground sitting with most of the weight on the truck, because you want the suspension loaded. Now, I will show you. I have a bed full of stuff. Okay, that's all pieces for this thing. But I also have, here on the end, I have a nice big 50-pound bag of play sand on the end of this truck. And that sand is just to basically put some load on the rear end so that it's riding like it's going to be once everything else is on it and it's right the right height, because you want these tires up. You need to have a true on the ground reading length of what your drive shaft needs to be. All right, so we're underneath the project truck, and so what we're going to do is we're going to measure. The measurement has to come from this facing right here, this one, not the snout, not the output shaft. It's got to come from this facing right here. Okay, so you got to come off of here. And this is my little Ziploc trick right here. There's no rust and there's nothing, so that works, Ziploc bag, and I'll put a new one on there, waiting for the drive shaft to come in that we have to order. But then all we have to do is basically measure from that surface to this surface. That's it, because this surface is basically dead center. So, you could give them a measurement back here from the bottom of the cup if you wanted to, but I've always just measured from here. So that is pretty much cut off dead center. It's in a straight line. We're going to measure from that facing, just like that. Get everything up out of your way. Move stuff if you got to move stuff. Get out of your path. And you want to keep this tape as straight as possible. On the edge of a tape measure is usually better. Okay, so this one is going to be, if I had to, since I'm going to have to give this measurement to my guy, I'm going to have to say that is 59 1/8 from facing to facing. 59 1/8 or 16. Actually, 59 1/16. Actually, I read that wrong because I'm looking at the angle. That's 59 1/16. So that's facing to facing. Tires are aired up to the same all around. It's sitting all four on the ground, so no jack stands, extra weight in the bed to get it to ride height. So 59 and an 8 and a 16th. These are the times that I'm glad that I didn't lower this truck yet, because we got a lot of work still to do underneath this thing. We got exhaust, wiring, this, that, and other thing, drive shaft. Because if I'd lowered this thing, I wouldn't fit underneath it. Just saying. And we're back. We're back from the machine shop, the drive shaft shop. We had to replace the main yoke here because they Magnaflux, the old one I had, it was cracked on both saddles. It was cracked across here on both of them. They showed it to me. It Magnaflux, and it was absolutely cracked. So they got a new one of these. This is the original snout. All right, and we got new U-joints, brand new in there. And look at that welding. Look at that welding. Look at that. Now that is a premium, nice job. All right. And the reason I know that's a good job is because I am a CWI, Certified Welding Inspector, worldwide licensed, and she's as good as gold. We got a new U-joint here. Now I decided to go with a greasable U-joint. There's basically two types of U-joints. There's one that's not as beefy, but because it's a pickup truck U-joint, it is beefy anyways, regardless. But because it's not as beefy, the ones that have the grease cert in them, then they last longer. They're designed to be 100,000 miles, okay, 200,000 miles. So you can grease them when you get them up on the rack. You can put the grease gun to it and squirt them. I believe it's 1350 style U-joints. They don't have a cert. They're thicker, beefier. I had 1350s on the race car, on the Camaro. Big block, turbo 400, 373 gears. Now, it probably only ran a total between runs, up and down in the racetrack, maybe 500 miles for 6 years of drag racing. So when you're not going to be doing a lot of driving, you can go with the solid, non-greasable U-joints. But if you do, they are going to wear out real fast. See, there's your Zert right there. They did balance it. So this will be a non-vibration free. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this up a little bit, tape it off, and we're going to give it a coat of paint and let it sit overnight. But that's what you get when you come back from the drive shaft shop. Okay, first coat is drying. Now I wanted to go over something with you guys about drive shafts and drive shaft shops and things like that. Is that any or every reputable drive shaft shop will automatically balance your drive shaft for you. If you ever get one and they say balancing is extra, or you have to ask for it, that sort of thing, we just build them, we don't balance them, then go someplace else, because any reputable shop is going to balance the drive shaft for you. If you have an unbalanced drive shaft, you are going to have a vibration from minute one that you start that engine and put it in gear. It's no fun. Always make sure that your shop balances your drive shaft for you. Okay, it's the next day. It's Saturday. And we got her done. Now we pulled the tape. And so we got this pit done, and she turned out really nice. Yep. So we're going to put this in. And, oh, yeah. As you can tell, old green came out, blue is in, and blue is full of parts. My email address is down in the link down below. So if there's someone on this truck before I start taking part you're needing, holler at me. Send me an email. Okay, since we're fixing to start, we're going to get her jacked up and get the bolts ready. But the other thing is tranny seal, rear shaft seal. No matter what, you pull a torque converter, you pull a drive shaft. Before you put it in, you put a new seal in place. 101, you don't ever put, if you get the opportunity to change them out, you change them out. It's cheap, it's $3. Okay, now this is what your shaft looks like coming out without the seal. I've already pulled the seal, and basically And you just make sure that this whole surface is clean. There's nothing buggered up. And see, this shaft will move. It's designed to be that way. So don't worry about if it moves around a little bit. Don't let that scare you. That's normal. That shaft should move a little bit. I'm just going to work your way around. And there is your new seal. And that's how you do that. Okay. But we need to deal with dirt daubers. You guys have these up north? I don't remember. I grew up in Wisconsin, but I don't remember having dirt dauber and hornets in the south, in the north. So I got WD-40 and I got to clean these all out. I know this probably isn't very good light, but this is what I got. And all we're going to do is we're just going to put that yoke into that slot right there. And basically, you just got to just feed it in. And no, I'm not putting this shaft in dry. I have some of my favorite super lube in there. And we're just putting it in like this. And we're just going to let it hang. Because we have to move to the other end where the light is. And we have to sync this up with the spindle, with the yoke. We have to sync this up with the yoke. And then put the bolt in. And then basically we're done. You guys know what that is? It goes there. The other half of it is in there. Cleaned it, WD-40'd it, brushed it, cleaned it, WD-40'd it. Got almost to the end, snap. Well, so much for putting her on the ground today. Looks like we're pulling this drive shaft back out. And we're probably changing this out because I don't have a clue how to get that out from mid-center. Don't have a clue. But she fit perfect. Okay. I'm beginning to think that this truck is cursed. Snapped it right off. No, I don't have black eye. I just got dirt. But snapped it right off. Using a wrench. Using this wrench. This short wrench. Snapped right off. In the rear end housing. There's no getting to it. So I got two options. I can either pull the rear end out of the green truck that's still sitting outside that I just did a swap with today, turn it around, come along it up on the trailer, block it up, pull the rear end out from underneath it, get it cleaned up, get it done, because I think it's got the same gears in it that this one does, well, the 310s. I might get lucky. It might have 330-somethings in it. That would be even better. But either that or spend the money, getting a new snout, or going out there and pulling the snout off of it, off the differential with an impact, and then seal, and then and hope to Christ that that doesn't somehow break off when I'm doing it. So give me some ideas. I mean, that's in the yoke of the rear end. Half of that thread is sitting inside, halfway inside that yoke. There ain't no welding a nut to it. There ain't no easy out in it. There ain't no, it's so small. There ain't no, gonna be no drilling, no end of it. I mean, she snapped, I don't know if you can get it. She snapped clean. Let me see. She snapped clean. Snap in my hands with a wrench. That's all the force I was putting on it. Snap. So if you're still here, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Tell your friends. To be continued. We got lots of other things we can do. We got cab corners we're going to do. I got a lot of work I still got to do on this truck. I got to take a break from that rear end. Drive shaft is going to get wrapped up in plastic again on the ends and be put up so it doesn't rust for future use. Y'all have a great day.